Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another Drevis Declares. With me, I have Low Tier U,
Hello.
and I also have Mick.
Yo, what's up?
And our very special guest for this episode, we have Johsai.
Yeah, what's up?
Josai is definitely an interesting somebody who's been wanting to be on this podcast for a long time. I feel like every time I upload an episode, whether it's Discord or something else, he's like, "Oh, can let me in the next episode? Let me in. I need
Oh
to
yeah,
get in there."
I definitely wanted to be on Drevis Declares for a while. Like seeing people get like just become more creative with ways to talk about the scene, interact with the scene is really cool, and I have a lot of things to say. So
Well, it's a pleasure to have you.
Yeah.
cool.
Yes, sir.
It also is a very special time of the year right now. We're approaching Thanksgiving, so we are down a member. Unfortunately, Skyblue couldn't be here for this episode, but
We'd love to give thanks to him.
yeah, we'd love to give thanks to him.
Yes.
And he should be back next week.
This Thanksgiving, I'm thankful for Julian.
This Thanksgiving, I'm thankful for Roy, Fire
This-
Emblem.
This Thanksgiving, I am thankful for all my loving friends that are on the Drevis Declares podcast.
Okay,
So
buddy.
wholesome.
Okay.
After
All right.
Thanksgiving, I fucking hate you guys, okay?
I mean, yeah, that's understandable. So I guess
I think this
go
week
ahead.
I'm thankful for Cinnamon Toast Crunch. I've really been loving Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Dude, honestly, S tier cereal.
Yeah, like for
That
real.
is really up there.
I'll be honest, I don't actually eat cereal, so
What?
No, you're so
I
cool.
didn't-
You're so
I
healthy.
didn't really eat
No,
cereal that much.
it's not even that. It's just like I don't know. I'm not big on cereal.
Do you not eat breakfast?
No, I do. I normally do like eggs, or like I'm not gonna get into it. I
My
do
man's a cook.
eggs or something.
I won't lie, cereal doesn't fill me up.
Yeah, it doesn't fill me up, and it's like normally really sugary.
I don't really
Okay.
eat cereal either, but I do enjoy the taste of cereal, but it doesn't really
No, cereal tastes
accomplish-
good. Yeah.
Yeah, I can agree that you like it might like need something else with it, like to accompany.
But
Like-
I don't
Yeah.
I don't think food really goes well with it besides like maybe like a banana or something.
No. I don't know about a banana.
I think we should save the cereal debate for whenever we have Nate on the podcast because he's the biggest cereal connoisseur.
Nate.
That is true.
All right,
and,
I'll keep
Rose.
that in mind.
Yeah.
Rose, yeah.
Yeah.
Rose has also eaten a bowl of Cheez-Its with milk.
Yep. Yes, he
That's
has.
foul.
He's a
I
psychopath.
didn't need to know that.
We've gone off topic.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So why don't you talk a little bit about yourself, Jack?
Okay, yeah, I guess I could just talk about the way I got into the game, which is a very interesting story. So, like, long time ago, I actually started out playing Brawl for fun with my sister Adri. So we just kind of did a lot of item smash, and I actually first heard about Smash because my friend was telling me there was a Mario game with like other characters from other series in it. And I was like, interesting. So I got Brawl. I lived in China at the time, so we went down to like the video game market and bought it. And it was a Japanese copy of the game. So actually, the first time I played Smash was, or like my first copy of Smash was the Japanese version of Brawl.
That's
And
crazy.
yeah, it's kind of funny. So when I got into the game, I made Bowser. But like for the longest time, I just took it like as like a casual thing. So and it was like that until I got to high school, and then I had a friend who played Smash 4 a little bit more seriously than me, and he played Luigi, and I was like, how good could you get at Smash? Like not Smash Ultimate, just Smash 4. Like what is how high is the ceiling for skill in this game? Because it doesn't seem like something that you'd be able to get that good at. So I played as Luigi, and I was pretty bad at the time, and I kind of just got watched the entire friendly session, and I was like, oh, I guess you can get good at Smash Bros. And I didn't really know about the melee history, the melee scene, or anything like that, so it was kind of a new thing to me. So my objective became I need to get good enough to beat this dude. I need to be good enough to beat his Luigi. And so that was what drove me to actually just improve with the game for the longest time. And then once I got to the point where I could beat his Luigi, a few months later, I felt like that was like all I set out to do before, but at the same time, I was like, maybe I could get better at this game and like actually beat other people. Who knows? So I guess I didn't really go to tournaments until I went to college. When I was a freshman, I went to my first tournament ever. It was actually my first college I went to. I haven't always gone to Western. My first year, I actually went to a college called Wingate, however you want to pronounce it. And they had a tournament, or they had an advertisement for a tournament the first week I was there. So it was like, I think it was a week after everyone moved in. And I was like, oh, I got to go to the Smash tournament. Like, I've never been to a tournament before. And so in Smash 4, I started out meeting Falcon. But at this point, I had shifted to Fox and Diddy, who were my mains for like most of Smash 4. And so my first tournament, I got second. It was not the best player base, it was kind of just free until Grands, and then the only good player that was there beat me in Grands. And all of my training had actually come from online. I kind of just learned how to play like the competitive rule set for Smash 4 through like For Glory, which was an experience. If you played For Glory, For Glory was pretty toxic.
Yeah.
I remember.
It was it was something. So my first tournament was interesting. I lost to a Bayo in Grands, but like I said, probably the only good player there. And then that's kind of how I got into Smash competitively. I started watching VODs of ESAM, so I got into playing Pikachu in Smash 4 for a little bit, and then I was like, I don't know. And then I went back to Fox Diddy, and that was just how it was for the rest of the game. Of course, back in Smash 4, like the like players to watch were like Zero and Larry Lurr, but players like that. So Larry Lurr was like my favorite player. Really got me more interested in Fox, and yeah, that's just kind of how it started out. And then it was like that, and I placed pretty consistently high at Wingate, but like I said, not the greatest player base. And then I moved to Western. I transferred to Western in 2018. So that's around the time Ultimate came out.
Yeah, Ultimate came out in, I want to say, December of 2018, right?
Yeah. It was December. Yeah. We were also hyped for it. This was actually before I met Nick. Me and Adri stayed up like literally all night playing Smash Ultimate the day it came out.
Yup.
And at first I was like, I don't know about this meta. Like, it's just too mashy. Like going from Smash 4 to Ultimate, it's kind of a weird transition at first. So I was like, this game might be a little bit too mashy. I played against Young Link, and I was like, this game's too mashy.
That's like the worst character to play against when you're first getting into Ultimate.
Yep.
Yeah, and so the first tournament I ever went to in Ultimate, funny stories where I actually technically met Nick, was a dorm tournament the day that the game came out. So I went there. I had no clue how to play Ultimate. I had no idea what the meta was. I just played Diddy because I played Diddy in Smash 4. So my first tournament match ever, I think I won in Ultimate. But then my round 2, I played Link. I forgot what his tag was, but I kind of just got camped. This tournament, by the way, was best of 1.
What?
And it had 3 different brackets. It had a Pro controller bracket, it had GameCube controller bracket, and it had Joy-Con bracket. And you were only allowed to enter 1.
That's making me angry. I'm getting unreasonably mad listening to that.
Dude, no, this tournament was so fucking stupid because like this was my first ever tournament experience, and it was at the dorm I was living at the time, Buchanan. I feel bad for anyone who literally hiked up the mountain because there's just like this freaking hill. It's like almost at the top, not quite at the top where Reynolds is, but you go up a pretty steep hill for a minute, and you get there only to play in tournament mode, best of 1, different controllers every single bracket.
I forgot to mention the tournament mode part. That is also another reason that is the worst tournament I've ever been to, but also very memorable.
Was there money on the line?
No money.
Okay, thank God.
It was kind of casual, I guess.
Yeah, that's pretty casual.
It wasn't something people were taking too seriously, but at the same time, like, I don't know. So like that tournament happened. I got to my round 2. I played this Link, and And at the time, the only person I had played like friendlies against was Adri. So like, and Adri's a pretty aggressive player. So I was like, oh, this game's mashy. So I played this Link, and I just got camped from one side of the stage to the other, and I had no idea what to do with Diddy against that. And I was like, wait, this game's campy. Maybe campy's the meta. So like early on, Ultimate was a journey. I was like, I just had no idea what to make of it at first.
It's kind of funny
Yeah.
because I remember seeing you two there, and I remember watching you both play, and I was like at first when I saw you, Jack, I was like, okay, I have a feeling this guy's gonna be kind of good, just based. You know, like where you have like a sudden like impression based
They have
off
an
of
aura.
yeah, an aura.
the
basically. Yeah, no,
Smash player aura, is that a
yeah, no.
It is. It actually is.
You exuded that aura, but after the tournament, I was like, I think the sister's definitely better.
Oh damn!
Yeah.
Dang.
It was,
Dang.
dude, it's pretty funny to look back on that tournament because I remember the single Joy-Con bracket. I got second, and I was playing against like this Bowser that was like that lived in my dorm at the time, and I don't know how I got second because I didn't know what the hell I was doing. I just know that,
Like
I didn't know
I
what-
want to see like the top 8 of that like first tournament because it'd be so funny to look at.
dude. Oh my god, that bracket's definitely not out there in the world, but it's definitely on a piece of paper crumbled up in a wasteland that like one day will see the light of day.
No, you're reaching, buddy. I'm
You know,
sorry.
the bracket doesn't exist online, but it's in my heart. You know,
Yeah.
I always remember that one, but not always for the greatest reasons. So this was before I actually officially met Nick. So I saw Nick there, and I was like, "Oh, this dude plays Sonic."
Ew.
Wait.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was my first like thought about Nick. Like I guess not my first thought about Nick himself, but just like I was like, "Oh, this dude plays Sonic." So like
That's not a good impression.
That's
what happened is actually
Yeah.
I think it was a couple of weeks later we had like a
After-
gaming club that we always went to,
after-
and we played Ultimate Friendlies.
Yeah, it was
And
after winter
so-
break.
me and Nick's good friend Izzy was there at gaming club, and they were saying, let's go ahead and do like an impromptu bracket. Like let's just do a bracket here. And I was like, okay, I'm down. So I don't remember too much about the actual bracket. I do remember playing squad strike because we did squads and like normal format. And I played Nick Martin, aka Mick, in squad strike. And I don't remember who you played, Nick. Was it like Ike?
It was like Ike, Roy, and I think Sonic, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, it was like a very interesting team because like I guess you didn't end up really playing Ike that much after that, and like I don't know about Roy. I know you played a little bit more Roy later on, but so like I played you in squads. I'm pretty sure I lost actually.
No, you beat the shit out of me. My Ike
Oh,
was
okay. Well,
My
okay,
Ike
my
was garbage.
impression of you was like I was like, this dude's good. Like he knows what he's doing, sort of.
Sort of.
Okay, the sort of comes from Okay, so Nick, I don't know if you remember this, but you would like always never go to ledge.
yes.
Like you would always like up B and then directional air dodge onto the stage, like it was like melee or something. I
Yep,
was like,
yep, I do remember that.
and so you would get just forward smashed over and over for it, and I was like, is this dude not learning like not to do that? And no, I thought you were so funny though because like just the things you would say during end game, like you would say the goofiest things, and I was like, this dude's really fun to play with. So
Yeah,
that tournament was the first time I met Nick. And me and Nick, Adri, started hanging out a lot after that, just playing friendlies and grinding the game,
also
and just trying
Terry
to
and I
figure
too.
out, trying to figure out like the meta of Ultimate because it was still really early on.
Mhm.
Yeah, I don't know. The first time I played Nick was like a good bit. Well, not a good bit, but like later on. So, I guess I should talk about Smash for Cash.
Yeah,
That was pretty big. So like I guess like I hadn't played Nick at this point. I don't think. And we found out about this huge tournament on campus called Smash for Cash, and we didn't know it was huge until the day of, and then we saw it was like 63 entrants, and we were like, oh wow, that's pretty crazy. And I guess that was my first real Ultimate tournament win. Was that, and I was really happy about it, even though like our scene was not nearly as strong at the time. It still felt pretty good. I was hoping that Nick would make it to Grands, but unfortunately it was not in the cards because of the legendary Too Much Dog. But
Too much dog.
Michael Sanchez, he would become a notorious bracket demon for all of us.
it's so weird because like this dude would either like beat like the best players like in the region, or he would just go 0-2,
Bro.
and there was no in between.
That name sounds familiar.
He played Samus. At one point, he was playing Little Mac.
Oh my God.
And what's the other character he played? I know he played Samus. He played Wolf against me once, and that was like Wolf pre-patch Blaster, so you couldn't punish it.
No.
Pre-patch Blaster was stupid, but just for reference, this dude, Too Much Dog, had multiple wins on Nick pre-quarantine, had a win on me pre-quarantine, and then also has a win on Julian post-quarantine, which is pretty insane.
That is actually insane.
Yeah, he just randomly wins. I don't know how to explain it. He's a wizard.
Yeah, I've heard of him.
Yeah, so the first Smash for Cash was pretty interesting. That was like the first big Ultimate tournament, or the first real Ultimate tournament I'd ever been to, and it was a good experience. And then that day I actually met Seth, aka Lionheart. I met Grayson, also known as Arcadia. Who else did we meet there, Nick?
Alex Seconds.
Alex, oh, what a legend. He is not around anymore, but very smart dude about the game. Like he just knew a lot about the game.
But God, he was bad. It was so weird.
It just didn't translate the game, but he knew a lot about the game.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So I guess the real like start of WCU Smash was that tournament, because we just kind of connected, and just like a lot of us met at that tournament. And I guess we didn't know. Oh, I met Francisco. Duh. I met Sensei at that tournament. How to forget?
The notorious Cloud that was scaring Terry.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. Of course there was. At the time, like at Western, there were only two players that like won tournaments, and it was me and Terry, aka Kami. Also not around anymore, but he was a super solid player, very good F-word ability.
Oh yeah, we're allowed to say fundies. We're allowed to say fundies.
Okay, we can say fundies. Okay,
yeah.
So, very good fundamental player. He played, believe it or not, he probably played more characters than I did. And he just, I don't know. Grant was always me and him. It was always fun. Really fun guy to talk to and play.
I wonder how they would perform in the scene today.
I don't know. He doesn't play as much anymore, but he's just good at adapting to people. So I still don't think he'd do bad now. He just had he had a good game sense. He was just good at fighting games in general.
Interesting.
But yeah, that was like, I guess Smasher Cash was the first like meeting point for a lot of us to get the scene started, because this was well before Salty Splatoons.
Yeah. Oh, quick thing. One thing I always forget was after Smasher Cash, we had the LAN bracket with Gaming Club, and didn't you invite your friend Dingus at the time, the Rosalina player?
Oh, Dustin, yeah. App State Rosa player. I knew he'd probably watch everyone, but I was like, you should come to this tournament, like, you know, get to see like the scene we have at Western that's like better than it was before, because before we really didn't have anything. We had like a few players who played Smash besides Melee, and that was about it. But yeah, he came down and he just kind of watched everyone.
Yeah, you ended up making it into Grands. I think I played you in Losers Finals and got.
Yeah, that was the first time we played in bracket. That was like the first real time.
Yeah.
And yeah, not the greatest showing for you, but it was.
Nah, dog, I got third. I got third of that event. That was pretty good. I ran at the time too.
It was okay. It was a good showing overall. I guess just like that set is what I was referring to.
Oh yeah, no, yeah. It's really funny too, because after that, then we found out about the Game On events at the little what was the place called?
Game On.
Okay,
I remember the Game On tournaments.
Yeah, that's another layer of lore, because I actually found Daniel and Sammy on Facebook around this time, and I was like asking, or I think it was mainly Sammy I talked to, and I was like, You guys should come to our tournaments and stuff because I had heard that there were some good players in Asheville. And then I think you guys came to a couple of game ons, if I remember correctly.
You guys made a
came to
really
the
funny
fall
first
team.
impression. I'm not
Oh
gonna lie.
wait, who made a funny first impression?
Honestly, you and Mick. I don't remember who beat who, but either you or Mick beat each other, and like one of you guys were just like screaming at each other like, "Oh, I should have won that," and then the other one was like, "Yeah, you should have won that." I don't remember.
That was after I popped off on the SD.
I don't remember what happened, but you guys were just screaming
yeah.
at each other. You guys, honestly, the Western scene was like rowdy. Like they were so loud and hyperactive back then. I remember Sammy being like, I haven't been in a group like that in a long time.
Yeah, it was the early days of Ultimate were pretty crazy. Me and Nick definitely had a rivalry going on, and I think early on it wasn't really a rivalry because Nick just didn't win sets.
Nope.
But after a certain point, we started going back and forth, and that's when it really got intense, and we got super into it, and yeah, pretty rowdy compared to now, pretty toxic. Me and Nick's friendly session. Oh my god. Wait, what is it?
That was one of Stick Dude's first appearances too. He went with us
for real?
randomly.
Wait, Stick Dude was at that tournament?
He was at one of them. Dude, there's actually a funny story if you guys don't mind with Stick Dude.
No, honestly,
Yeah, sure, go ahead.
I'm down.
Dude, this is like a meme in the Asheville community. I don't even know if people like realize it was the same person that Stick Dude is or not. But like Stick Dude went with a tournament, and he was watching me and Sammy playing Grands because I believe it was me and Sammy and Grands. And like he kept making comments throughout the set. He was like, "Oh, Pokemon trainer spiked Mario really hard there," and stuff like that. He just started. He was making comments like behind us like the entire time.
That guy! Oh my god! I remember that.
And then after the set, I was so mad because I was getting second to Sammy like every time. I couldn't take a break, and every time I like do so well, and I get my own head, and then I start losing because it was like a. I don't want to talk about it. I'll talk about it when Sammy's on the podcast. But I was like in the corner with my arms crossed, like really upset. He went up to me. He was like, "Hey, who won that set?" And I was like, "Sammy." And then he was like, I didn't hear you. Could you say that one more time?
Sammy!
Who won that again? Can you repeat that? I was so mad, but some people like listened in on that, and that just became a huge meme in the community for such a long time. And Stick Dude's a meme in the community right now, honestly. But that was
no.
That was one of
That's so funny.
the first things he's done.
Dude, I'm glad you brought that up because I remember that at the time. I was just like, oh my god, that's gonna disturb the set, isn't it? I'm like, I didn't remember the thing where it's like Sammy won. I didn't. I don't remember that. I think Jack and I had left by then, but I do remember.
That was a game on, or was that
Yeah,
one of the Salty Splatoons?
It was a game on.
Okay. Because I didn't go to any of the game ons. I remember. I think I went to like the first or second Salty Splatoon.
Yeah, you definitely weren't there.
That's when I
think it
like
was
showed
before
up.
I met you, actually.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, like Jack was talking earlier about his first impression of Nick, and he was like, "Oh, he seems cool. Oh, but he plays Sonic," and that's like kind of funny because this was when I first met Nick. My first impression of him was, "Oh, he seems cool because he plays Sonic." Because this was back before I was like, really competitively into the scene. So like I knew the history of Smash 4, but I didn't know that there was like a huge stigma around like Sonic players being like very campy. And this was back before like my opinions had been like jaded and like like they've changed over time, but this was back when I was like, "Oh yeah, I love Sonic. Like the Sonic games are cool. I've always really liked Sonic." So when I met Nick, I was like, "Oh, he plays Sonic. He's cool." And then I mean, yeah, and the more I played with Nick, the more I don't like Sonic.
I feel that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll do it.
That's the Nick experience.
Yeah.
But yeah, going back to just the history in general, I'll probably just skip ahead because like after that, it was just a lot of us grinding together in comments rooms and just trying to get better at the game. I guess the next like major point or just chapter in the history would be one day we were all just kind of sitting in Steak and Shake, and we brought up the idea of just starting a bi-weekly tournament on campus because we were sick of like only having a tournament like every few months with the gaming club, and we were like talking, we are just throwing around ideas, and we were like, the Salty Spittoon like SpongeBob theme, that'd be really funny, right? And everyone agreed it'd be kind of funny, so we like immediately just got started on that, and it was just in the works. And then we had our first Salty. I'm not sure exactly when it was. I want to say it was like December, November, or January of like 2019 or something. I don't know. Maybe earlier than that. Who knows? Yeah, I think it was earlier than that. Anyway, so we had our first one. I'm pretty sure Sammy won. Daniel got second, and I got third, if I remember correctly. And it was just a good that was like the first time that we'd actually had a major interaction between like WCU and Nashville. Was like the actual players coming out for that. Ended up being a really fun event. A little bit scuffed, but you know it was the first tournament of the tournament series, so it is what it is. But it was really good. Like I don't know if you were there, Daniel. Do you remember anything about that tournament?
I remember the Salty Spittoons in general, and I remember like the first time it went out vaguely, but I don't remember what was scuffed or I don't remember that much about it.
Well, okay, so like it was in the same room. Okay, so like, how do I explain what room? It was like it's called the Cardinal Room, very small room. Not the greatest tournament venue.
No, I remember the
I
Cardinal
know the room.
I
They still
remember
they have
that
it in
one.
there like every once in a while. Still,
I thought Cardinal was actually not bad for 20 people. It was Robertson room that was scuffed as hell. Holy
Well, it's like
shit.
I guess like even now, like or in comparison now, I guess it's worse to have the Cardinal Room because we have more people coming out
Yeah.
compared to back then. And maybe my perspective is just kind of like I don't know. Maybe now it being so bad as a venue, maybe it was fine back then. Who knows? But I guess it was mainly like the stream and things like that. Like I don't know. It's just kind of scuffed. But good first
commentary was
tournament. I would say
hilarious.
it was a success.
Me just constantly saying, "Oh, look at that forward smash."
Dude, I'd like
Oh,
do
yeah,
like a
Nick
basic Mario
commentary.
combo, and the commentary would go crazy. They've never seen a Mario player before.
Dude, no. When you like zeroed the death Fran, we were all losing our shit like behind you.
Oh my
I'm not gonna
God,
lie.
yeah.
I mean this in the nicest way possible, but I could tell you guys were like kind of new to Smash in general when I saw how hard you were going off about that,
Yeah.
or at least
we were,
Ultimate.
yeah, we were definitely very new.
Yeah, I mean you're kind of a veteran at this point, Daniel. At least
I hate
you're
saying
a
that,
Smash
but I
4
guess so,
vet.
yeah.
You really are like because I think everyone in this call like really started with Ultimate.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been playing since Smash 3DS came out.
Yeah. Yeah, you've been playing for a minute. I mean, at least you're not like one of the melee guys, you know?
True.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's about all there is to it. After that, it was just we just kept having salties. We eventually turned it into a club, and we started having weekly tournaments. And yeah,
Yeah, the WCU scene has grown a lot since then. But
That's true.
Yeah. It's doing pretty well right now, I would say.
dude,
Yeah, I think
it's
the...
got.
Oh, sorry, you can go.
I was just gonna say, like, I think there's a lot of good, like, a lot of people becoming friends, but is a big thing. But also, I think the scene is in gets turned over to great hands each time, and I think if they continue to do that, the scene's gonna continue to flourish.
Yeah, so I think Celtics and Tunes are honestly probably the most successful, like, brackets we have in both of the regions. WC just has a lot of, like, really strong players, and also a lot of, like, more, I guess, casual players, too, so it's a good mix of both.
It's a good mix of casual, but, like, also serious, and then they all, like, are very close to each other, so there's just constant practice, like ease of practice.
Yeah.
I was also really happy about just like the Cat and Mouse Clash series in general. Like, I was really hoping that would be a success and people would come out for it. And like all 3 people, well, I guess for the first one, it was kind of a late notice, so we didn't get too many people. But the Catamount Clash 2 and 3 were both really, really good events, and I was like really happy about how those ran.
3 was awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a really fun time.
Yeah.
Dude, I remember at the time, Jack and I were. This was when we were like walking around. We were gonna go get food. We knew about the venue, and he like said like I would love to have a tournament there in that room one day, just a big tournament, invite people out, cash prize and stuff like that. And I thought it was just really cool that like when the first Catamount Clash happened, it was just cool seeing like his ambition kind of like not just his but the entire scene's ambition paying off and just being as successful as it is. And I just thought that was really cool.
Are you talking about the Blue Ridge conference room?
Yes.
Yeah, I saw that and I was like, that would be such a good venue. Like, I don't know, I there was just something about it, and then it ended up being great. So
Yeah.
Nice.
But speaking of Catamount Clash, I think we did want to go over your performance at Catamount Clash 3, Jack.
Yeah, you were the best placing player in our scene, I think.
Wait.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
It was a good bracket. A lot of Captain Falcon. I think I went into Catamount Clash 3. Like most of my practice was for that. I just wanted to do well at that event because I didn't have as much time to be playing Smash after that event, which is why I didn't enter as many brackets after that. But so I was like, I really want to do well at this event. So I was grinding a lot for like players I might potentially play. Ended up being 2 players I kind of expected I might play for some reason, and so I was happy about that. I practiced for it. So round 1, I played a Pac-Man, which was an interesting experience because I just don't play Pac-Man a lot. So, but like I think Fox is pretty straightforward with what he needs to do in that matchup, and this dude was pretty good. He just had a few pretty obvious habits and like tendencies, but like he had good ideas. His forward smashes were pretty scary because Pac-Man forward smash is absolutely broken. And yeah, so round 2 I played Poke, I think, who was a really good Captain Falcon from the Charlotte region. And I played him before. I think I have a positive record on him. I always end up playing him at Charlotte tournaments for some reason. I think I was like 3-1 on him before I played him. So I had lost to him before, so I was pretty not scared, but I was concerned. I was like, I'm gonna need to play on point because he does have a super good advantage with Falcon. His combo game of Falcon is probably the best of any Falcon besides Jennifer in the state, and that's like the main thing that makes him scary. Is like once he hits you, it's like, oh no, what's gonna happen? I actually went game 3. I felt like I was playing really bad in that set. I played game 1 as Diddy, kind of got messed up because I got Stomp Need at 40, I think, at ledge, which was good on him because he needed to reverse it and send me the way I didn't expect. So I died, and I just kind of gave up on that game, and then I just switched to Fox. And both games I played Fox were relatively close, but I won both of those.
Nice.
And then after that, I played Prom Queen. So I was really excited to play Prom Queen. I have a lot of Zero Suit experience, obviously, with Lionheart. Jacario used to play Zero Suit back in the day, and Waffle also plays Zero Suit. So I play against Zero Suit on a pretty consistent basis. So I think Prom Queen was really good. I actually had beaten Prom Queen before, but it had been a while, and I had heard that they had gotten a lot better. So I went into that set thinking I could definitely win, but I just need to execute. So I took game 1 actually really convincingly, which kind of surprised me. It was not really a close game, and I was like, well, maybe I still have it. Like even if they've gotten better, let's see. Game 2, very very close. I really wanted to close it out 2-0, so I kind of just ran in for this like brain dead up smash but they were like baiting me to do that, so I just died for it. Because they were in the corner just short hopping over and over, and I was like, I'm gonna go in and anti-air with up smash. And yeah, they just shielded and then boost kicked me, and yeah.
Dang.
And then game 3, I've been trying to get a Battlefield more because I used to be battling that stage, but I've been practicing like getting better on Battlefield. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna get a Battlefield because, Fox up there. And he has like extensions off of platforms. And then I just kind of got bodied. I don't know. They were catching my illusions with down smash into like boost kick, and I died really early my first two stocks, so I kind of had to play from behind. And they just got it. I was like, it is what it is. So I lost 1-2 to Prom Queen. And so who did I play in losers? I think I played Keppa, the Captain Falcon from Boone, to get out of pools, which was interesting because I feel like they play a completely different style from Poke. A little bit of a more difficult neutral to deal with, but doesn't like the combo game that Poke has isn't as good. But I won that 2-0. It wasn't, in my mind, that wasn't really an upset because I felt like I was just like on the same skill level or better. But a lot of people were considering that an upset at the time. But they're definitely really good.
Actually.
Yeah, they're definitely a really good Falcon. And then I played round 1 of top 16. I played Julian, which was unfortunate, because like Julian's always had like a curse with getting out of pools at big tournaments, and so he finally manages to do it. And then like we play immediately.
That sucked.
It did kind of suck, but at the same time, it is what it is. It wasn't like the big deal. It was top 16, and so Julian took game 1 pretty convincingly. I kind of just got messed up and got forward smashed at ledge multiple times, and that's like what you can't happen. That's what you can't let happen in that matchup with Fox. And so I kind of just took a second in between or after the first game to think about what I needed to be doing in terms of stages and what I should be avoiding. And like there were a few things I usually avoid against Julian I was getting hit by, and I was like, what am I doing? Like, so I won the next 3 games. I think we went Battlefield, which surprised Julian because we never go Battlefield in our sets because typically I just don't like it and he doesn't like it. But I did really well on Battlefield, and then we went Smash Bros for the next 2, which I'm pretty confident in because Fox on Smash Bros is pretty broken. And so I got 3-1 over Julian. And so I played. Oh, okay. After that, I played Jennifer, who is probably the best Captain Falcon. Definitely the best Captain Falcon in the state. Probably like one of the best ones in the this region besides Fatality. And I was pretty nervous about that one. I'm not gonna lie. I had seen Jennifer just absolutely demolish people, and I don't know. There's something intimidating about the way he plays. So I was like, okay.
I agree with that.
Yeah, I was like, I just need to take a breath and realize that he may be a good player, but he's human. He's gonna make mistakes, and I just need to capitalize on the mistakes. And needless to say, I did not. But first 2 games, he kind of shot on me, and then weirdly enough, I went Diddy for game 3, and that was last hit. So maybe that matchup just really sucks your Falcon. Who knows? But
as a Diddy main, I think Diddy wins that matchup.
Yeah, I could see that for sure. I do
think Falcon's better at closing than Diddy is, but Diddy wins neutral really hard.
But like, yeah, that was where my run ended. I wasn't really sad about losing to Jennifer because I respect Jennifer a lot, and they're pretty cracked.
Oh. Can anyone hear me?
He's back.
I do not know what happened.
Uh-oh. Oh, what's going on? Hello? Okay, we're good. I guess we're good.
We're still recording.
We're
right?
still live, right?
Yeah, we're live.
Okay.
Okay.
What was the last?
I guess repeat whatever you were talking about.
Yeah, so I was saying that like I think that was the best placing out of like the WCU in Asheville.
Yeah.
Scenes. Yeah. So I mean, good stuff. We did have Boone there too, and they're like technically WNC, so that was cool. I want to say Self had a pretty good run.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was definitely really happy with the placement, and I was really happy with the way the event ran and like the reception and like everyone seemed to like it.
And yeah, you had that NC Slummit spot up for grabs too.
Yeah, I
That
felt
was
like
really cool. I didn't even know about that, and then I saw Cam Steele talk about it on Twitter, and I was like, "Oh shit!" I was like, "This is a serious tournament."
yeah, dude, it was so cool though. Like, the Slummit spot, and then that got us a lot of advertising because people wanted the Slummit spot, obviously. And yeah, Cat and Mouse Clash 4 is going to be even better.
Oh, is there? So 4 is confirmed.
Not confirmed, but you know.
Well, I mean, you just said Catamount Clash 4.
You did
So
just say
you got my hopes up now,
Okay,
man. What's going on?
speaking hypothetically,
You said it publicly
if we
too.
were to
Yeah.
somehow, have a Cat and Mouse Clash 4, it's gonna be pretty good.
Okay, so maybe be on the lookout for that.
Yeah, maybe be on
Yeah,
the lookout
maybe.
for that. Yeah.
Maybe. Okay.
What is the likelihood you actually go, Ethan?
This time, hand
Don't
to a
drink too
Bible.
much.
Hand to a
not gonna-
Bible? That don't mean shit if you don't.
Don't have too much orange juice before bed.
I'm not gonna drink a lot before Catamount Clash 4. I'll be there. I'll finally go to a Catamount Clash. Okay. I will
You know-
finally
You
go.
know, fun fact, guys. When Ethan says he's about to go to a tournament, he's statistically more likely to not go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
call me MK Leo.
No,
Figured out the stats.
no, honestly though, like if he doesn't, I'm pulling up the soundbite immediately and I'm just gonna post it in his DM.
No, remember when I was like, no, so I didn't go to Catamount Clash 3, but I was like, don't worry, I'll go to the next WCU tournament. And I went to the next WCU tournament. I did.
That
Yeah.
is
I
true.
went to the Arcadian, yeah.
All right, cool.
This
You
is
made
like-
it. You made it.
I'm
5
gonna
and
go
1
to-
instead of 5 and 0.
Listen, okay, I think the next tournament I'm going to is gonna be Winter's Tide.
You didn't even go to the Sunday bracket. And you were like tempting everyone with that.
I know, things came up.
What came up?
I went out drinking.
Oh my god. You might have an issue.
No, it's just that I have people I need to hang out with, you know?
So, Jack, question I want to ask you. So, of course, we talked about a little bit of our rivalry. I eventually want to talk about like kind of our sets in time, but I actually wanted to discuss who would you say is like your biggest rival right now in terms of just
Julian.
yeah.
I knew he was. You asked that, and I was
I
like,
knew
he's gonna
Julian.
say
Yeah, Julian,
Yeah.
instantly.
Me and Julian, I don't know. Our sets are always very exciting to watch. I've been told I like playing Julian's Pichu a lot in bracket. It's just like it's not like a comfortable thing because Pichu can just kind of kill you,
Mhm.
and Julian's pretty good about just like exploiting. Like if you're not watching out for cheese, then he's gonna know when you're not watching out for it, and he's gonna go for it. But it's always fun to fight Julian in Fox Pichu. It's just I don't know. It's fast. They just kind of shit on each other and destroy each other, and so there's like I don't know. I do have the like head to head on him recently, which I'm happy about. I don't know. I guess I'm pretty comfortable playing fast against people. I think that's one reason I do pretty well against him.
Mhm.
But even then, Julian is just one of those players that's like scary no matter what. Like even if you're winning by a good amount, he can just kind of bring it back pretty quick.
I know
But
definitely.
and we also just play a lot, so that's why I would say it's just like if I had a rivalry right now, it's definitely him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
That
makes
actually, there was a topic we hinted at last episode that we actually didn't cover. Do you guys want to cover that maybe this episode by any chance?
What
what
topic?
was-
Involving like PR.
The WCU PR?
No. Remember, we. Okay, maybe I'll save it for the end of this episode.
Yeah.
Are we gonna
yeah,
announce like what we're gonna do with this season? Is that what you're saying?
No. Not like this season. Just like mentalities and stuff like that.
Oh yeah. We could.
Yeah.
Yeah. We could.
Maybe
we could
bring
talk-
that up at the end. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I do. I know we also wanted to cover like up and coming players. Like, again, I feel like that's always a good segment to talk about.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
So I want to hear from Jack, like his thoughts about like, you know, who could be the next big threat, and you can't say Cobalt because we already know.
Okay, so Cobalt's already a given.
Yeah, no, you can't use Cobalt as an answer, but are there any other players right now that, might be like catching your eye or like, you might want to be on the lookout for?
I think that Charm, unironically, has like a very good chance of being the best player in the region in the next year.
Ooh, wow. Okay.
Okay. I could
think
see it.
he has a crazy understanding of the game and just lacks experience. Like I think, uh, if anyone besides Cobalt is to look out for, is definitely Charm. Also, let me look at something real quick because like I just like struggle to like think back
Yeah.
to all the players and stuff.
Yeah.
All right,
there's-
if you had to pick one, Daniel, go.
If I had to pick
Well,
one,
if anyone from did you ask Daniel?
Yeah,
Oh, okay. Hold on, I'm gonna look for something real quick.
yeah. If you want to look,
Uh,
and we'll get Daniel's thoughts.
Okay.
if I have to pick one player, because I think there's many players that are actually kind of
Okay,
coming up
name a
really
few.
fast. A few?
Name a few then.
I
Okay.
would say my number one right now is Avahe. He
Yeah.
went from like kind of a beginner to the game, to say it nicely, to like making top 8s in brackets, and his level of improvement has been really scary, really fast. I've said it before on like commentary, I believe, but
Yeah.
he's just gotten crazy good. Now he's a contender to like take names off of like upper A tiers, having close sets with I think S tiers sometimes. And for how long he's been playing the game, and he's been putting in the work too. He's been like VOD reviewing. I think Game Bro Advance is definitely up there. He's been doing really well recently, but there's a few players that have like Low Roller is also a big name. He took a set off of him recently, which is like the first time in a long time. He does really well. Someone saying something?
No. No one added anything.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought
Okay,
someone
so
started talking.
yeah, that's a good 3 right there.
Yeah, honestly.
Nick, you're not very like in the know, but if you just had to list off names right now.
So personally, from what I've seen, like in terms of upcoming, I
Yeah.
agree with Daniel on Avahe more than anything, because it was just weird because Daniel went Avahe went from like I didn't really notice the results at all, and then I just see them starting to place a lot better at bigger events and also smaller events like top 8 like around there, and I'm just like that's really impressive overall. I also think not necessarily upcoming, but Wheatley is one of the best players in the scene. They just don't go to that many events.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
I agree.
I'm glad you
goes
said
to
that.
UNCA.
Yeah.
Strictly UNCA tournaments. He does
He
not
went to
want to travel.
one Sunday bracket.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think
Yeah.
they definitely are forgotten about in the scene for sure.
I think Wheatley is definitely one of the best players in Nashville. It's a little hard to talk about PR with Wheatley, though, because he only goes to UNCA.
Hmm.
But he's been having a win streak against Gambro Advance recently, which is really impressive because a lot of players... He's been really consistent in the region recently.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. I guess if I can think of like maybe 2 right now that I want to talk about. One of them is gonna be Weeby Boy Ethan. The last time, so we have a tradition of where we always do first to 10s with each other. Like anytime we're in a room and we're playing Smash together, we're like, all right, we're doing a first to 10. And I remember this was right before the Arcadian. I went to a Smash Fest and he was there, and we didn't have time for first to 10, but we did do a first to 5, and he beat me, and I was like, oh okay. He'd gotten a lot better just in since I hadn't because I hadn't seen him in maybe a month or 2, and he'd gotten a lot better just within those 2 months of me not playing with him, and I was like, okay. And then he did pretty solid at the tournament after, and I think he has maybe 1 or 2 bad habits, and if he just fixes those bad habits, he'll be I think he can be in that upper echelon of players. And then
Agreed.
the other player I want to bring up may have like, so he's been pretty good. He was a little under the radar for a bit, but I think he's starting to show up more now. Is Lionheart.
Yeah, for sure.
I could see him doing a lot better. Just because after his performance at the Arcadian, and then there was a following tournament like a week later, he did really well at those. I don't think he's really gone to anything after those two tournaments, but just from those two performances alone, I think if he keeps up like what we're seeing, he could also be, pretty high up there.
Yeah,
because he's been doing really well. He's been playing with like a new level of confidence.
there's one quick one I want to add, because he's honorary Asheville, but he's in he's more of the Charlotte scene now. Is Skeet.
Oh yeah, Skeet, yeah.
He does do pretty well in Charlotte tournaments.
He's done extremely well in Charlotte tournaments, and like whenever he showed up to the Asheville events a little while back, he was doing really well, and like I think his level of improvement is very notable, and I think he deserves a shout out for that, honestly.
For sure.
For sure.
I think there's two players that haven't been discussed already, and I also feel like one of them really doesn't get discussed very much. That I feel like are pretty close to being able to take tournaments, like getting to that point where maybe they still have a couple of issues, but once those get sorted out, they will be able to start taking brackets. Volokai and Low Ruler, I think.
Yeah.
Both of those players are. I think Low Ruler isn't talked about enough. I know.
I brought that up last episode, actually.
I brought it up like 2 minutes ago.
Yeah, really? He's very under the radar. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's normally there in the top 8 though. Like when you're like in top 8, you will normally be playing Low Ruler.
Yeah, he's very consistent. He grinds the game. I'm a pretty big believer that if you just care about getting better, you'll get better. And I think he grinds harder than a lot of people do, and I definitely expect to see that paying off very soon, even more so than it already has. And then, of course, Volokai. I really think once Volokai sorts out just a couple of things, he's going to be able to take brackets, and he's definitely like making a pretty rapid improvement with how much he plays. He plays the game a lot. He obviously all of his time is dedicated to Mega Man in the game. He doesn't have anything else to put time into. So like that also increases like how much better his results get. I think he's one of the most consistent players outside of like the S2 category, aside from a few brackets where he didn't play as well. But yeah, both of those players I think are just so close to being where they want to be, you know?
I would also put Raiko on that list.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
But I also think he's been up there for a while. It's just he used to play bad in tournaments.
Yeah, there's a few players who don't like typically take brackets that I think are pretty close to getting to that point. I definitely think Taylor's one of them.
Yeah. Yeah, Taylor, yeah, I would agree. It's weird to me because I feel like Taylor either plays really hot or he just, like, isn't really, like, he doesn't really care.
Yeah.
But, like, when he does play, like, really hot, it's, like he, like, gets really far.
Yeah, I definitely see that.
So, yeah, he's a good pick for sure.
One quick thing I wanted to bring up, because we actually didn't talk about this earlier. I wanted to kind of go into detail about Jack's character pool, but also his history of his character pool versus me specifically, because we have some absolutely absurd sets. Some of them tragic, some of them very funny. And honestly, like I just want to start like by saying this dude. I remember this was in a friendly session. I was playing with Adri at the time, and she Ganon forward smashes me, kills me at 30, by the way. And
oh my god, that was the funniest thing I've ever seen.
Jack took the video of that and made a really stupid edit on his phone with this like goofy sounding music in there with a slow-mo replay, and I'm just like, man.
Damn.
I still have that video. It's
a very funny video, but I think also like that goofiness, that video, like it kind of describes some of our sets because at first this dude had my number. I think I was like 2 and like 10 in that first semester because we played each other a metric fuck ton. I don't know how that kept happening, but the first time I got my bracket win over Jack, it was at Salty Splatoon 1. I 2-1'd him, got into winter semis, I believe. I ended up losing and played Jack again. He 2-0s me back, and like in general, like up until that point, I would just mostly keep losing, and it was really interesting because we had a set at a game on tournament. I'm playing him in Grands, I believe. I believe this is also the first one that Sammy and Daniel showed up to. Actually, I don't
Yeah.
even know if this was like a Grands or anything. It was probably like a semis or something like that. But we're playing each other, and I see he I think we're playing on PS1 at the time because we were going with that rule set.
Yeah.
And I remember this man SD's at like about 20, but so I have a stock lead, and I'm saying to myself, "Oh, this is exactly what I needed to win." So I do like a slight pop off in my chair, and I kind of like put my fist up in the like towards my chest, and then he just kind of looks over at me, and he's just like, "What the fuck is this goofball doing?" He's popping off over an SD, and he proceeds to utterly kick my ass. Absolutely. Like, Jack, what was your thought process when you saw that happen? Because like I know you've said it before, but like
I was like, I don't know, I was just playing, and then when I saw that, I was like, I cannot lose to this.
I cannot lose to someone.
I had never seen someone like I knew it wasn't like a malicious thing, of course, but
Yeah.
I had never seen someone pop off over an SD, so I was like, I'm on a bad side of history here because I don't think this has ever happened before.
Yeah, it's pretty funny, but after that, eventually Jack and I would have a bunch of other sets. There was one day in particular, and we had 2 tournaments that day. We had a LAN tournament with the gaming club, and it was the second semester. I was doing pretty well that season. I was pretty much a favorite for first at that point because of how I was doing tournament wise. I end up playing Jack in, I believe, losers finals. Yeah, it was losers finals. I'm up 2-0 at that point. He runs off the stage with Fox SDs, and I'm just kind of like, did he just check out? I was like, what just happened? He switches to Wolf, and he proceeds to 3-0 reverse 3-0 me in one of the most comical ways possible. I was trying to edge guard, and I think I SD'd like several times because I was edge guarding way too low with homing attack, and he was just air dodging that shit, getting completely out of the way. And I just remember, I think one time I was going for a fair. I was going for a fair really low. Like he was like really low on the stage. I went for a fair to try and kill him from stage spike. And like I just end up SDing. I'm just laughing at this point because I'm just like, and like Jack is just looking at me and he's just like, you just keep SDing.
Yeah.
It was a really interesting day. Then came the Asheville bracket that same day. I'm playing pretty serious in that bracket. Jack is a bit exhausted, so he's going random, and he actually did really well. Before that, I was in winter semis. I was playing Nemesio at the time, who was considered a bracket demon. I was in position to win. I ended up saving Ice Climber with a Spring Gimp, and I ended up losing the set. So I go into losers, and I'm playing Jack. He's like, I'm just letting you know, I'm playing random. So random happens. I think he gets DK the first game. Yeah, his DK fucked me up. Absolutely fucked me up. Jack, I don't remember the second character. The other.
I got Daisy in game 2 and lost.
Yeah, you got Daisy, and I was like, okay, I feel good about that. You're playing Dr. Mario. You got Dr. Mario on the last game, and I'm thinking to myself, oh, this is gonna be easy. I can edge guard the fuck out of this character. I die to an F smash at about like 50 because he got this roll read, like he had it in his bag. I get hit, I die, and I'm just like I just lost to Jack like like 2 times in the same, or like 3 times in the same day, I'm pretty sure, because I lost to him in winner's side, and then I lost to him in loser's side in the first tournament, and then that next tournament he beat me with his random, and I just felt defeated. Like I put my hands up like on my head, and I just kind of like moved over. Apparently, people thought I was gonna throw my controller at the time. Like they thought
I didn't know what you were gonna do. I like gave you space because I was like, this dude is about to explode.
Yeah, no, everyone thought I was about to explode, but I was just trying to calm down. I was just kind of defeated, and I was just like breathing in and out, and then I was like, okay, I'm fine with this. And then I just kind of like walk away afterwards. But I was in good spirits afterwards. We end up that was definitely one of the most traumatic sets I've had against him, because it was 3 sets in a span of of the same day. So, and the heartbreak of the loss to Nemesio, that really hurt. Then
Yeah.
eventually there was a circuit event for My Ultimate Is Ready.
Yeah, I want to talk about that one. That was like the most heartbreaking one for me personally.
I
Yeah,
remember that being heartbreaking for me too.
we so Jack and I think were projected to see each other in winners round 3. It was round 3, I'm pretty sure, or it was round 4. Anyway, that ends up happening. We're playing each other. There's actually a lot of people watching us from behind. It's actually like a lot of people were really interested in this set, and it's going back and forth. It's very close the entire time. And then this last set, or this last game, I didn't know what the clock was, but apparently Jack said it was like 50 seconds. And we were on last stock. And he gets like a misinput, if I remember correctly. I think it was he got up smash when he didn't mean to, because he was going for an up tilt, and he ends
was
up
like you hit my shield and crossed me up, so I tried to up tilt out of shield, but I did up smash.
Yeah, you did up smash. I end up throwing you off the stage, if I remember correctly. I think I homing attack. I bear you, and then I think I fair you again, and then I thought I killed you with spring in the blast zone, and you were just like, no fucking way, and then you didn't die. So then that happened, and then you're recovering low with Fox, and I'm just charging up this F smash, and I ended up getting the 2 frame, and that was the most like distraught you were after a set.
Easily, yeah.
You were
because it was like a combination of things. It was like the fact that I meant to up tilt. It was like the time on the clock, because like theoretically, if I could have just like run away, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And then also the fact that the 2 frame killed me when I was like at 50, 45 or something, because it was fully charged.
Yeah, it was just one of those tragic events, and whoever got I said it to Jack. We both agreed after the set. We were like, whoever loses this is gonna have a rough time getting a really good placement, because there was a lot of people in losers that were.
Yeah, that was yet another thing. The losers bracket, a bunch of people got an upset of that tournament, or not like huge upsets, but losers bracket was looking pretty scary. So I really didn't want to get knocked to losers.
Yeah, that was, I believe, the last time we ended up playing in a bracket.
That was definitely one of the last times.
No,
That
I
was
think
the last time we ever played in my ultimate.
yeah, it was last time we played
Yeah,
at my ultimate.
R.I.P.
Yep.
Didn't Nick
Risk-
beat me at that tournament?
Yeah, I did. I ended up playing you, and then I think I'd play Struggler before I would fight Lucky Wind again.
Dang.
But yeah, me and Nick have definitely had some pretty crazy sets, and just
Yeah.
the history of us playing each other is a lot of. I mean, there's like too many sets that you could just like go back and be like, that really happened. That's actually crazy.
Dude, it's so funny because a lot of it was different characters with you too, because either you'd switch or you would just play a completely different character at the time. And I think one of the most interesting things about your playstyle, like it's funny because like I'm a solo main. I've never played another character in a series bracket except for Sonic. So I kind of want to talk about your character pool and just like how you'd rank your characters right now, like who you're
Oh
working
no,
This man
Who
plays
you're-
a
I don't know
roster.
how I'd rank. It's hard to like gauge like how good a character is,
Mm-hmm.
but I will say just for now, I'm just planning on playing Fox Cloud, and then the only times I play other characters are like for specific people. Like if I know someone's like terrible against Rob, I might just play Rob.
Makes sense.
Like, but for now, I've just been grinding a lot of Cloud, mainly for Game and Watch, but also for a few other things for Luigi, characters like that. But
That's
like
fair.
as of now, I've just mainly been playing Fox though. Like, I feel like Fox is kind of just like my soul character in Ultimate.
I can see that.
I don't. I think all of my highest peaks come with Fox, and yeah, I just think he's the most fun character. I just really like playing Fox.
I would definitely say he's your best character in my opinion.
Yeah, he's. I mean, it's like a volatile character, but I feel like when I'm playing my best, it's usually with Fox.
Definitely.
Yeah.
What else were we gonna talk about?
Um.
We're gonna talk about what makes different S tier players difficult to fight.
I think that's a
Yeah.
very interesting question, but I actually have no idea what my answer would be.
Yeah. I mean, I have like maybe like a very small theory, but it's not like
Oh,
I don't know like how
dang.
true it is because there's like outliers to it. So
Well, I mean, I guess like it's worded differently in Daniel's message, but like, I get like for instance, like what makes Julian hard to fight, or like what makes Daniel hard to fight.
I feel like yeah. So my general I like thought about it is I feel like most of the players who are like up in S tier or like up at that higher level, they've really put in a lot of time, like a lot of time to the game. But then there's outliers like Chatty where he doesn't really play the game
Chatty
unless
just
he
kinda
like
sprouted
goes to a
up.
tournament.
I remember
Yeah.
when he was like a 2-2 player, and then he just became the best player in the scene for a year.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like there's different things to it. I think at least like for our level, I think one of the big factors is I think a lot of people could do it or are very close to doing it or have done it. But it's just getting over the thought of like results like being like really important like if you're like about to like beat an S tier player or something and then you're like the thoughts going through your head like oh this will look really good for the season like that can affect you like that can affect mentality also like just overall like man they're like really good it's going to be hard for me to beat them like I think general stuff like that is an influence but we're not at like the point where like at least like at our level where the S tier players are like impossible to beat because I think it's pretty doable by pretty much any player except for like maybe like C tiers.
Yeah, I guess though I guess I should have worded it differently, but I guess like what I meant when I sent it earlier is like going over like specific players that are in S tier and just like talking about what is hard to deal with about them particularly.
Yeah. I know for Daniel,
Oh,
Daniel
no.
goes into a state where he's like, I don't want to lose, and he plays like so incredibly safe, while knowing like, while still being able to like capitalize on certain stuff. If that makes sense. Like I feel like Daniel goes into a mode where he's like, you're not hitting me.
Yeah, that makes
and then
sense.
you just can't hit him. The only other ones I've really played are like Julian and then Chatty, but to me, Chatty feels super doable. Um, and then Julian's really good at like getting stocks. He's really good at like I haven't played his Aegis, but when he was playing Pichu, he was so good at just getting a stock. Like he would get a stock off one interaction, which I think that's what makes him so good. Because he can just like clean up stocks really early if he makes the right call.
Yeah,
Like
for
he's
sure.
so good at like pushing his advantage state and turning it into a stock.
I think the thing about Julian is like, there's a lot of different ways you can play advantage state. I know some people just play advantage by looking at where your opponent is and thinking about what options they have, and then thinking about what option would do well in that situation or whatever. Because like I know some people who just play advantage where they just like hit you and then they'll just like hone in on you kind of, and then
Yeah.
wait for you to expend like get rid of your options and then hit you. But the way Julian plays advantage state is really interesting and it's pretty hard to deal with because I guess I could like call it like checkpoints. He has these little checkpoints. So he'll hit you, he'll position at a certain point where like you can't reverse the situation, and he'll wait to see what you do, and then he'll just react, and then he'll hit you again, and he'll stop, and he'll wait for you to do something, and then he'll hit you again, or he'll grab you depending on what you're doing. Like
Yeah.
his advantage state is very safe and it's very hard to get out of. Uh, so I think that's like probably the hardest thing to deal with Julian.
Yeah.
I struggle in neutral the most against him, honestly. It's hard to approach him because he just whiff punishes everything I do.
Yeah.
I feel like at least with Diddy, I don't know how it is with other characters, but with Diddy, I think my highest success rate would be to just try to make him to approach.
Yeah, I think the times that I've beaten Julian with Diddy, I played very campy.
I personally, like, for me, out of when it comes to S tier players, I think every single person has an aspect to their game that they polish the most. I think um I think Jack is he's considered one of the most aggressive players, but I think his bait and punish game is one of the most like frustrating to deal with out of anyone. And Julian, the thing with him is he's so good at knowing when to keep pressing buttons and when to stop pressing the button. It's that like unnerves that he has just to be able to mix the mix his safe options and then immediately get a punish off of his safe option because he knows you're trying to punish him for it. And then there's players like Daniel. I think what makes Daniel really ridiculous is personally I think when he has his positioning down and his micro movement is on point, I think that's when he's at his the most annoying to deal with in neutral by far because that small bit of positioning just changes everything because you're trying to go for something and then you feel like you're going to you're going for that like burst option to get him the fuck off you, and he just has a way of knowing when to slightly walk and then just get like a huge punish off of it.
Interesting.
Yeah, I'd say it's stuff like that. But yeah, every single person just has a different aspect of the game that they polish the most. But I think it's the players that are the most well-rounded that do the most consistent in bracket, if that makes sense.
I can see
Yeah, that
that.
definitely does. I think the part of Daniel that's hard to deal with is like mix-ups are hard to come by with Daniel sometimes because he has more experience playing competitively than anyone else in the community here.
Yeah.
So naturally, he's seen just a lot of tricks, a lot of things that work against most players that don't work against him. So it's hard to like know and be confident in your decision making sometimes because you're like, what if he's like seen this before? Like, what if he's ready for this? What if he just kills me for it? You know, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
I've definitely seen a lot of things and I've been through a lot of shit with this game.
You say you've been through a lot of shit in Smash?
Yeah. I
This
fought
sounds
many
rough,
types of players, some awesome and some
Not so awesome.
yeah. Smash 4
Yeah.
being such a crazy and toxic game also definitely helped my
Yeah.
tolerance for some of that stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
I do also want to say, like particularly for Chad, especially when he's playing really confident, I think he has the best option coverage of any player in this region.
Chaddy's advantage state goes crazy.
Yeah.
It feels like there's like just no options you can choose to get out of like the vortex of the Game and Watch. When
I
he's
think
playing confident.
there was something he learned, and that was just holding bacon at one point. Because whenever I used to play him in the past, he had a pattern to how he would use bacon. And now he kind of just knows when to hold it and when not to. And I thought that was one of the things that made some of his ledge trapping just pretty freaking terrifying to go up against.
I can see
Oh
it.
yeah, for sure. I also wanted to mention, of course, Cobalt is like almost definitely going to be like a player who's up there with like the best in the region, or already is. But Rose has had an interesting season. He's had a lot going on, so he just hasn't been as invested in Smash, I guess, in general.
Mm-hmm.
But I do think that Rose is like really one of the smartest players that I played against. When he really is trying, it's very hard to like just outsmart him and out mind game him. It's just hard. I really want to see what like his results would be like if he just went solo Joker.
I agree.
Because it is like by far his best character. It would be cool to see, but like of course it depends on like how invested he is in Smash. If he doesn't want to be too invested in competitive, then like that's completely understandable.
I won't lie, that one time you try harded against me with Joker, I won the set still, but it was really difficult. I had to play really smart to take the set.
Yeah, it's just hard to fight. It's hard to fight Nate's Joker. I don't know. There's something about it. I guess
Yeah.
it's like his positioning with Joker's really good.
I think he's really good at playing the player, like the human being in front of him.
Yeah, very true. But yeah, and of course, I think the only other person we had in the S tier category was the legendary Cool Man.
Yeah. He is currently on a mission right now, so
Yeah, he's currently in Hong Kong. So hopefully we'll
Crazy.
get him back.
yeah, maybe we'll get him on the podcast one day.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Time Zone might make that hard unless we do it when he comes back.
No, I was thinking like when he comes back.
But it would be a very cool special guest.
How long is he supposed to be gone? He left in September?
I think it was like half a year or something.
Yeah,
I
he's
don't
supposed to be
remember.
gone for I think 6 months.
I'm trying to think. So he left in like September, right?
Yeah.
Was it September or August?
It was either late August or early September.
Okay. But yeah, so he'll be back. Yeah, he'll be back in 3 more months.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's something like that. But yeah, I think the only other thing we had to talk about was the Weenie Hut, and I think Daniel want to talk about the last 2 brackets as well.
Yeah, I wasn't there for Weenie Hut, so I actually don't know much about what happened besides you guys having a Melee tournament, which is pretty sick, honestly.
It was a really fun event. It was so we had Mega Smash, Super Mario bracket where it's like only Mario items and only Mario characters and stages.
I would have
And
won
then
that.
FGC mode was like HP, and then we had Melee, of course, which ended up being pretty interesting because all the Melee players that were there that actually played Melee did not win the tournament.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, I think Julian actually won the Melee bracket, which was pretty surprising.
Yeah.
But
I saw some controversy going around, actually. about that melee win.
Controversy.
Yeah, some toxicity from players.
Oh yeah, yeah. There was some quote as the young kids say, beef between
I heard there
Volleyball
was some
and
canceling going around too.
Oh, I
yeah,
saw
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
hashtag cancel Skylo.
Yeah. What happened? Why?
It's not actually anything real. It was just Julian winning like a melee bracket when he doesn't play melee, and all the melee players just lost to Julian like down tilting at ledge, and
That's so funny.
CJ thought that thought was depressing.
Mm-hmm.
That's really all there was
Dude,
to it.
I'm gonna be real with
though.
you, dude. Marth carries at low level melee. Marth carries so hard. Game Bro Advanced, if you're watching this applies to you too.
Okay.
Dude, all I know is Smash 64. No one carries harder than Kirby, but
That is
in
very true.
But melee, I don't even know who carries because
Yeah,
whenever
I think it depends on the level, but I think it's hard to be carried. No. Marth carries at low level, in my opinion. Falco carries at mid level. At high and top level, it's hard to be carried though, unless you're like a Puff or Sheik.
I feel like Sheik was a little easy for me whenever I played melee
Actually, I
I
can
don't
see
know.
Sheik carrying.
because she's got some stupid ass chain grab that she can do. But who doesn't have a stupid chain grab in that game? I think melee's dumb, but that's a topic for a different time.
I think melee is really fun. But it has a really high learning curve and it's hard to get into at the start because mostly just because there's so many like touch to deaths. And
Yeah.
a lot of characters can like edge guard other characters at 0 really easily. And if you play your cards right with Marth, it's really easy. You just have Smash or Neutral be at ledge.
You know what sucks about melee? Tap jump.
True.
Yeah.
No, that's based. What do
No,
you
that
mean?
is not based.
That is, dude, that is based. Have you ever tried hitting the button as like soft as you can and still getting a full hop? I didn't think so. It's like I don't know if it's because my hands just
Dude.
aren't used to it because like whenever I played Ultimate, I was so happy they made the update where they added a short hop input by just pressing both buttons at the same time because there's absolutely no way I'm just going to be able to just play in the middle of a fighting game, be so into it, and then just go tap, tap. And then-
I disagree. I don't know.
Dude,
Nick, I'm not gonna lie,
dude,
I'm
short
judging
hops
you
are
for
easy
this.
as
I feel like
hell,
if
bro.
you-
That's like the most
Yeah.
massive skill issue I've ever seen in my life.
Dude,
Like
dude,
literally, I would watch videos back when I first started playing the game, and they were like, "Here's the first thing you want to do as a beginner: learn how to short hop.
dude, I
Practice
tried.
until you can hit it 100 times in a row." And it's like, come on, that's like the first thing you practice, Nick.
Dude, when I was a child playing through Melee and 64, I didn't know what any of that was. But when Brawl, I was always
Dude.
like, oh, how can I do this little hop and be able to get like, an aerial out of that? And I haven't really talked about this. I didn't know anything when I first started playing, but like Melee in general, just like I used stick jump all the time because I felt like it was easier to control. It was easier to
Wait.
get more consistency.
In my experience,
Melee,
it's
you
harder
can't
to
turn off?
to short hop with a tap jump.
Yeah, I don't like flicking my stick up to jump.
It's awkward. It's like
Yeah, it's weird.
and it has
Especially,
no,
especially
little
with like
control.
uppies and stuff too. I don't like that.
Mm.
It's definitely not for everyone though, but like for some people it does help. It helps with IDJs immensely though.
Oh, in Ultimate, absolutely.
Yeah, in Ultimate. If we're talking about Ultimate,
Dude,
which is the game I'm the most experienced in, so
yeah, no. It's actually kind of funny about Ultimate because before IDJs were discovered, I was double hopping by using IDJ at one point.
yeah.
And I kept getting combos that I just didn't understand, like could work. Everyone was like,
I mean, to be
How-
fair, it was really funny when IDJ got popularized because people were literally just like, oh, you just jump faster, like you just jump twice faster.
Yeah, but you
Like,
actually
that's it.
don't. You don't reach the top. Of you don't reach.
Yeah,
As
you don't
high.
reach the apex.
Yeah. Anyway,
Yeah.
that was a tangent off me shitting on Melee, but
No, Melee's cool. Melee's hype.
Melee is
hype.
influential, but it's dumb. Anyway.
I think Melee's fun.
I'm gonna
It's
go to a
just like-
Chum Bucket Brawl someday. I'm gonna try to win, or if I get second, I'll get second at Game Bro Advance. No one else though.
Not Skylo with his down
No,
tilts.
hell no.
Yeah, not the Skylar Marth down tilt.
Oh hell no.
That'd be a fun. I'm looking forward to that Jump Bucket Brawl. That'd be pretty funny.
Y'all should
Are
let me
those-
participate via Slippy.
Are those gonna happen like with every Salty Splatoon? Where will there also be like a Chum Bucket Brawl?
I don't know if we have like a definitive answer for that yet. It's
Or
still
if they're
kind of
gonna
in
like
the
do their
works.
own tournaments, like they'll have a only Melee tournament.
I don't know. I think we're still trying to work it out. I don't think they're gonna be on a different day, but if we do have them the same day as the Salty, I guess Melee bracket will probably start at like 3, and then like Salty will probably start at like the usual time.
Good to know.
We'll see. Well, the Salty channel announcements will keep you guys updated on that.
Yeah,
We're still trying to figure it out right now.
fair enough. I mean, I think, yeah, I'm feeling like we've talked about a good amount.
Yeah, I think we've been going for
Yeah,
a
I
while. I guess we could vaguely
Yeah.
talk about the last two brackets, but there's not really too.
Yeah.
It wasn't too eventful, to be honest.
Yeah,
I'm playing. I'm experimenting. I'm not gonna say I mean this character, but I'm experimenting with Aegis, and I won both of those brackets because Aegis is an easy character.
True.
Nathan took a side from Game Boy Advance. I think that was a pretty big upset.
yeah,
Oh,
no,
yeah.
really-
Raiko got third at UNCA, one of his better placements, with solo King DDD.
Oh wow.
I didn't know that.
With Solo King D.
I don't like that.
That's
Yeah,
gross.
that's gross.
And now he's gonna be like, but the DDD though, and now he's gonna play it more.
Oh no. Just don't let him play Piranha Plant. Oh my god.
I would rather.
Tail-
King DD's better than the Piranha Plant.
Taylor, if you're listening, I hate your character pool.
No,
No.
the Link is fine. Link is
Yeah,
fine.
Link's hype. He plays like a
Yeah,
nice.
Okay,
cool-
Link isn't hype, but Link is fine.
Link
Actually,
is
Oh,
the most
fighting
tame.
Link.
Link is tame. Like I'm like, you know what you're getting into.
The thing about Link is like I know what I'm getting into, but I just think Link is incredibly boring to fight.
I think, well, I don't know. I enjoy fighting Link because like it can be very funny to play chicken with a Link's shield. Like it's very funny because like they throw out that up B if you even like get close to their shield sometimes. So
Oh,
it
yeah.
can be like it can be really funny like just going up to their shield and like waiting for them to throw it out. I don't know. I don't know if like the matchup itself entertains me or just like what I do in the matchup entertains me because like you can turn the Link matchup into like little games. Like how many times can I parry their wave bounce boomerang that they throw and like how many times can I like get them to up B out of shield without doing anything? Stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
And it's definitely more like I would much rather fight a Link over a King DDD or a Piranha Plant or a Me Gunner.
Oh god, don't even say that.
Yo, I should have stuck with me, Gunner.
Honestly,
No.
yeah.
Should
Yeah.
you have?
No.
I don't know.
But yeah,
I don't know,
that,
Daniel. I think you should stuck with the Joker.
I think there's definitely some people who unironically think that, and I can kind of see it. I don't even remember why I dropped him.
Yeah, stick with the Joker, yeah.
Yeah, you should go back to Joker, Daniel.
Yeah, you should go back to Joker.
What? Why does everyone want me to do this?
No reason.
I think
No.
I think your Joker is I think your Joker's your like most fun character to watch. So
I see.
Your Joker is pretty fun to watch, actually.
for what it's worth,
I appreciate.
You try to
that.
get fancy with it too. Like I remember I was seeing you try to do like tether cancels and stuff, and I was like, okay.
Ethan, you've roasted me for doing that before.
Well, yeah, because they don't really serve a purpose, but they still
think
look cool.
I've watched them kill Leo. I think they serve a purpose, but you have to know
They
when
don't.
and why to use them.
No,
They don't.
no.
The only time I see MKLeo do tether cancels is when he's up. It's game 3. He's got like a 2-stock lead on his opponent, and he's just trying to look as flashy as possible. That's the only time I see MKLeo do it. With Byleth, yeah, they're a lot better, but with Joker, they are like, you don't need to do tether cancels.
They put you in a very unique position off stage, and you can back air.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say the same thing. It serves as a mix-up when trying to get back to stage against certain characters, but also it positions yourself in a much more different. Like you can position yourself much differently off stage to get certain angles that you.
Did I cut out again?
No, I think he did.
Yeah, I think Nick just cut out.
Dang, that's unfortunate. Yeah, we should just end the podcast here.
That would be funny. All right, well, that's going to be it for the day, guys.
All right, thank you guys for watching. It was very fun.
It was fun talking with everyone. And...
Thank you for coming on to the podcast, Johsai.
Jack, do you want to give a Twitter shout out or anything?
My Twitter is Pastimes with JW if you want to follow me on Twitter. I also follow the Salty Spittoon on Twitter for updates on the Salty Spittoon.
Yeah, and on YouTube, Salty Spittoon Smash, right?
Yeah,
you can watch some hype sets.
Spittoon Smash Club on YouTube.
Yeah, there's a lot of VODs on there.
The one and only.
Yeah.
All right.
And on Twitch, too. They're trying to get verified.
Oh, very true, very true. We're trying to get more followers than the Melee Salty Spittoon on Twitch. If you look up Salty Spittoon, it comes up with ours, and then it comes up with the Melee one. And they have more followers than us.
That's crazy.
Like, I think it's like a California Weekly or something. But anyway.
Messed up.
Well, yeah, thanks for joining us, man.
Yeah, of course.
It was great having you.
It was great having you on, Jack.
Yeah, of course. It was a good time.
Cool. I guess I'll go. Thank you guys. Follow me on Twitter at LTY_AVL.
You can follow me on Twitter on at Drevis2TWO. I wait like a split second to make sure no one else is gonna say anything, and then I guess I'm not the only one doing that.
Yeah, no. When everyone does it, it's.
I'm not gonna lie. I thought Daniel should go last because it's his thing. But
I was trying to go last too, but then I was like, okay, Mick's not saying anything. He might be waiting on me, so I'll just go ahead and go.
All right.
Mick, you want to advertise your Twitter?
At Mick_Michaelis. I'm private, but I'll accept your follow anyway.
All right.
Cool. Peace out, y'all. Happy Thanksgiving. We might have someone special next time. Not sure yet. Still ironing out details, but
we may or may not have leaked it last podcast.
Yeah, no, I don't know what you're
had a
referring to.
Difference.
Guys, real quick.
That's the mix-up.
Turkey or ham?
We tricked you.
Tofurkey. I'm vegetarian.
Okay, yeah, well, I do that.
All right, have a good day. Bye.